Welcome back to Mike Ferry TV. My name is Tony Smith, the Vice President of the Mike Ferry Organization, and I am over the moon thrilled to be here with you today. Whew, boy, this is the week of July 25th. Last week, we had our Superstar Retreat. If you were there, an enormous thank you for being there. Your participation was off the charts, okay? If you weren't there, we missed you. Don't miss another one, right? I got to tell you, I had another pure example of why Mr. Mike Ferry, my mentor, my boss, hopefully your mentor and your boss, is the guy. Phenomenal, okay? So if you came back from that event without a ton of things that you need to take action on, I'm going to repeat it, take action on, you missed it, okay? There is obviously plenty to do from what happened the last few days at the Superstar Retreat. Okay, we're going to shift gears, okay? We're going to look at let's look at some specific thoughts this week on how you could take advantage of this golden opportunity that's sitting right in front of you. Okay, I hope you're starting to understand. I hope we're beating it into your head. I hope you're catching Mike's message. I hope you're really starting to recognize and realize that what's going on out in the marketplace is a golden opportunity for you in the growth of your real estate business, if you take advantage and you pay attention. So I'm hoping you do. So I'm going to give you some thoughts right now, okay? First of all, it looks like the projections are that there's going to be a few less transactions this year than originally projected. Okay, when we started the year, all those bean counters and numbers crunchers were saying there's going to be 6.6 million sales take place this year. Okay, it looks like that might be 5.5 million, 5.6, 5.7 million sales that actually take place this year. Good for us. Do you know why? Because I'm going to remind you again, if a market changes and declines a little bit, if the number of transactions drops a little bit, the number of agents that disengage drops by a lot more than that. Okay, you think about it. Oh, well, when 1 million sales might be not happening this year that they projected. Okay, I look at that and go, that means there's going to be 11 million commission checks, 5.5 million sales. And I will bet you that a lot of the competition is going to get mentally and physically sidetracked, and they're going to go into some kind of a tangent into a rabbit hole somewhere. If you pay attention now, you can literally clean up, but you have to pay attention. So here's some very specific thoughts, okay? First, I wrote it down like this. Are you reminding yourself every single day? And this is something I want you to do mentally. Every day I want you to remind yourself. What's going on out there does not determine whether you hit your goals this year. What's happening in the market does not determine whether you hit your goals. All it does is point you in the direction of what you have to do to hit your goals. Okay? You need to remind yourself of that every single day the rest of this year. If you do, you're going to have a mental advantage. Now let's get specific. Number one, I wrote down. What are your production goals for the rest of 2022? Okay, one thing I'm clear on, if you don't decide, nobody's going to decide for you. We got 5 months left to do some incredible things here in this calendar year of 2022. What are your production goals? I wrote down, how many days will you work between now and December 31st? This is an interesting one today. Because I think maybe even a little more than ever, agents are confused about when they're going to work or not. It almost seems like they're half in, half out. I'm going to take some vacation, but I don't know how much. I haven't been on vacation much in the last 3 years. So I'm going to take vacation sometime. We have agents that have taken vacation 2 and 3 weeks. They've never taken a 3-week straight vacation in their life. Okay? You've got to decide. How many days will you work between now and the end of the year? I'm not saying you have to work 1 million days. I'm not saying you have to work every day. I'm saying you need to decide. Because once you decide how many days you're going to work, then that eliminates the option of whether you're going to work or not. Yes, you're going to probably take some vacation, take some time off around the holidays. We get it. But once you decide how many days you work, it puts in motion a commitment for you working. Let's take the option off the table. Okay, number 2, I wrote down, how many listings will you take between today, the 25th of July, or the week of the 25th? How many listings will you take between today and December 31st? Okay, you've got to decide. For those of you that were at the Superstar Retreat last week, I'll bet you're fired up about how many listings you're going to take. If you weren't there, you still have to decide, what is that number? Are you going to take a listing a week? Are you going to take 2 listings a month, 3 listings a month, 5 listings a month? Some of you will take 10, 12, 15 listings a month. I know, but you've got to decide how many will you take between now and the end of the year. I wrote down, how many closed transactions will you have between now and the end of the year? How many? Okay, once again, if you don't decide, the world is not going to help you. You've got to decide. How many closed transactions will you have between now and December 31st? And then I wrote down, how much income will you receive? How much money will you get paid from real estate sales between now and the end of this year? I would suggest that you write those 3 numbers on a 3x5 card. Right? I'm going to work 125 days between now and the end of the year. I'm going to take 42 listings between now and the end of the year. And I'm going to make $350,000 between now and the end of the year. I don't know your numbers, but you need to. I would put those on a 3x5 card and I would carry them with me. I would tell everyone about it. Okay. Number 2 on this list I wrote down. Are you right now, currently, are you spending the majority of each of your work days centered around listing property? If you have a work day and you're working, at the end of the day, are you spending the majority of that day centered around listing property? Boy, we sure hope so, because we still need listings like crazy. If you go find them, you find motivated sellers today, they're still going to get sold if they're motivated and priced right, aren't they? I'm thinking about this, okay? Do you spend your time practicing your scripts? I hope so. 30, 45 minutes. Maybe some of you need to spend an hour a day. Improving the quality of your presentation. Are you refining, perfecting that listing presentation? It's important. I wrote down prospecting. Do you have a clear-cut way that you're going to generate leads in the second half of this year? How much do you need to do? Is it more than you were? Do you need to prospect more than you have been? How many contacts do you need to make and who are you going to call? I wrote down lead follow-up. Do you need to aggressively improve the way you follow up on leads? Mike says there's no such thing as too aggressive. Does somebody that's motivated want an aggressive agent? Yes. So demonstrate it with your lead follow-up. I wrote down pre-qualifying. Hey, more than ever today, we need to be in front of qualified sellers, motivated sellers. We can't run the risk today of being in front of people that aren't motivated or qualified to sell. So are you spending a lot of time finding out? I hope that's wrapped in your day. And then going on listing presentations. Are you presenting to people? Okay, we need to be presenting all the time. I wrote a little note. Should you set some accountability around your daily schedule to be sure that the majority of each day is centered around listing property? Maybe you need to lock some accountability down. Point number 3 on my list. What extra effort will you commit to for the remainder of this year? What extra effort? You know, evening prospecting won't kill you. Okay, so if you set up some evening prospecting sessions a couple times a week, some mega sessions, a Saturday, Sunday, possibly once a month, hey, guess what? We have live prospecting clinics coming back on schedule. When's the last time you attended one of those? As soon as you see them on schedule, I would sign up for one if I were you. Extra effort. How about this? Could you stop by and door knock on an expired or a FSBO on your way home every day you work? What if you stopped by and just knocked on the door of 1 or 2 expireds or a for sale by owner on your way home every day the rest of this year? You'd make a lot of money for it. Extra effort. Will you be putting in more prospecting sessions throughout the week? Extra effort. Okay? Hey, one thing we know, the market is telling us out there that if we put in extra effort, we're going to get paid really well for that extra effort today. Are you? Okay. 4 on this list. Do you have a clear-cut plan on how you will improve both the growth and the operation of your past client and center of influence? Do you have a clear-cut plan of how you will not only improve the growth of? Mike's been telling us, he said, one of the reasons the inventory was so short for so long is so many great agents have these little tiny databases, or they have a big database and they don't work it. You need to have the right database and you need to work it properly. Do you have a plan in place to dramatically improve the way you run your database in the second half? Be a great idea. Number 5, where do you need to specifically strengthen your mindset to pump in more positivity and stay away from the negative chatter? What do you need to implement immediately to strengthen this thing? Strengthen that mindset of yours to pump in more and more positivity and push off more and more of that negative chatter that's going on out there. Hey, there's going to be a lot of it. There always is a lot of negative chatter, isn't there? You need to push it out, okay? Next on the list I wrote down, what do you need to upgrade right now? Hey, one thing you know about Mike Ferry, he is in a constant, relentless effort to upgrade everything we do, okay? What do you need to upgrade? Do you need to upgrade your materials, your presentation, your prospecting? Do you need to update your prospecting session? What do you need to upgrade in your life and business right now? Make a list and let's get it upgraded. I wrote down, is your complete price reduction system fully operational? Hey, let's face it, in today's world, we're not only going to have to price properly, we're also going to have to get price reductions, aren't we? Do you have a full-blown price reduction system? If you have a coach, talk to them about it. If you don't, get a full-blown price reduction system in play. If you get prices down when your competitors are not dropping price, your properties sell, theirs don't. You win. Pretty simple, okay? I wrote down, how will you go about learning the market stats and how to deliver them to the public? How are you going to go about learning the market stats? What's going on in your particular market and how you could deliver it to the public in a way that they could accept it? Most people, this isn't doom and gloom. It's your ability to deliver the stats in a way that a seller or lead can accept it. We've got to put in that work, okay? I put down this thought. What will you do to absolutely eliminate complacency in your life and business? Mike Ferry said that this year, he said, one of the challenges that we're dealing with is agents have made so much money in the last couple years with these upgraded commissions and high prices that the complacency is running rampant right now. Do you have an idea for yourself of how you're going to eliminate complacency for yourself in your life and business? Okay. We believe that if you can move complacency out of the way, you'll take more action and make more money. Don't get complacent. And then the last point I wrote down, how will you actively participate more the rest of this year? And I mean participate more. You know, God bless the brokers and managers that are out there, the companies that are there. They are putting on some phenomenal things for you. Mike Ferry's putting on some phenomenal events. We're committed to getting you in front of some of the best information out there. But it requires your participation, okay? Are you participating fully in your local community real estate and in the Mike Ferry system real estate? Participation will make you more money. So, as you can tell, I am fired up from last week. I want you to move forward. Let's consider this the starting point for something incredible in 2022. Thanks for your time.